Well, hello there, friends. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing boat carpet. So I'm going to be duplicating these patterns here. And what I'm going to be doing is cutting out the pieces. We're going to be binding the edges. And you see right here, there's snaps. So we're going to be putting the snaps back and duplicating those in the original area. So here we go. And Miss Nibbles is going to be helping me out today, huh, Miss Nibbles, the Wonder Dog? So today I just thought I'd mention that this morning I realized that it's the anniversary of my father's passing when I was only 11 years old in 1976. So, that's as of today of this recording is 48 years. More than, the time really passes. So all I've got to say about this, if you don't mind for a second, is that if you go to my website and you click on Rudolph's Virtual Museum, you're going to see the story of my beginnings there. It's like my biography. But anyway, you'll see my father there. And, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Just wanted to say thanks. So this stuff here comes in a 98-inch width. That's pretty wide. So that means that I'm going to have plenty of material to work with, and I'm probably going to end up with a lot of waste. So there are a couple of different ways of patterning this out. Either you could lay the carpet on the top and draw it out, or the other thing you can do is by reversing this right here, you can reverse this also and draw it out. So either way works. The way I've always done it though is like this. I'll just lay the part out on the top, draw it out, and cut it out. Okay, we can begin by just taking a piece of chalk. Some people don't. Actually, what they'll do is they'll sharpen them. And okay, since we're talking about that, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. They'll just take the scissors and they'll sharpen the chalk. I almost never do, but anyway, just another tip. Okay, let's go ahead and start drawing it out. So this is technique number 32. So technique number 32 is whenever possible, especially if there's a nap on the material that you're using or a pattern like this carpet here, you want to orient all the pieces go in the same direction. So I didn't take this one out of the boat. So I'm kind of guessing, to tell you the truth. But I could see that the back here is probably the width of the boat. And then this one here is probably the middle of the floor of the boat. And then also that one there. So we'll just take our chalk. We'll just trace it out. Let's go ahead and cut it out. So now it's time for the binding. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. There's actually a couple different styles. One style here, which is really common, is just to wrap the edge just like that and then do a top stitch. The other one is the one that I usually do for, like, say, Ferrari. Okay, so Ferrari carpet, what you do is you sew this top edge right here and then you wrap it around like that. And that's what a Ferrari binding looks like. And then you do a top stitch on the carpet, not the bindings, because that way you're not looking at a stitch on top of the binding. You're looking, actually the stitch kind of hides itself right there in that little groove. But what we're going to be doing here for this boat is we're going to do the more common one. Okay, so what I usually do is I start in the center of the piece right here. So let's go ahead and get this wrapped. But I'm not going to start here. I'm going to start a few inches back right here. Just going to do a tiny, tiny little lock stitch right there. And then just pull on it. Just enough to make it tight or taut. Depending on what part of the country you are in and how you would pronounce that. So just follow the corners. Outside corners are easy. They practically form themselves. Okay, so now for the straight part, what you want to do is make sure that everything's going to be really consistent. So probably the best advice I can give you is to just take your time. If you don't rush it, it should turn out really nice. So I know that there's a lot of machines that have attachments. And these attachments, they often, actually I guess there's a binding attachment. You put it on your sewing machine and somehow it's supposed to assist your binding, sewing on your binding. But you know what? I'm old school. I've never used that before in my life. So this is the way I do it. Maybe you can help to educate me and write down in comments what you do for binding. Okay, so now probably the most tricky part of doing binding are the inside corners, like I'm doing right here. A little bit different to do. So you just might want to take a little bit more time with these. So now we're going to go ahead and meet the two. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that one to length. Now, what I will do is I will sew these together. Let's see, fold that. I think I've got it right. So now we can just finish it off. So now I just have to do the same thing to all the other pieces, but I'm not going to bore you with that because this is a big, huge piece and it would take me a long time to do. So next is the snaps. So what we have here is we have the caps, like that, right? We got the snaps, like that. So that's snaps. They call it stainless steel socket. Okay, this one here is durable dot cap. And this tool here is called a press and snap. So this is the tool that I've been using forever. So about 40 years ago, I remember buying one of these for like $40, and I had to go replace it about a few years ago. And now they were like $120, and it's the same exact tool. Not one thing about it has changed. Okay, so now for the location of the snaps, what we will do is we will put the old one right over the new one. Make sure it's exactly where it needs to be. Then now you can see where the snaps are right here. All I'm going to do is just take my Sharpie and I'm going to mark exactly where that snap was. Right there. I marked it there. And we'll just continue to do the same all the way around. So now what I do is I take my press and snap tool. Yes, that's what it's called. Yep, right there. Press and snap. Okay, I put this, load up the little snap here and the cap here on the top. There's a little rubber tire that holds that in. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Oh, let's do technique number 9822. Okay, what that is everywhere that there's going to be a snap right there, what I do is I reinforce it. I will put a piece of vinyl behind that because I've seen, and maybe you have too, where the snaps, they just like pull right through the carpet. I have seen that. So now we have that. All we have to do is just trim off any excess right here so it doesn't look so bad. Like that. Now we have a reinforced snap. I'm going to go ahead and do that to all the rest of them. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Well, till next time, we'll see ya.